Jade was a quiet man, always keeping to himself in the office. He wasn't one for small talk, and when it came to friendships or relationships, he was incredibly picky. He had high standards and believed in quality over quantity, which is why most people didn't know much about him. He spent his days working efficiently, his focus unwavering, and his mind often drifting to his true passion, baking. One day, a new office mate named Faith joined the team. She was confident, poised, and effortlessly beautiful. But she had a reputation. She didn't entertain flirtations, especially from the men at work. Faith was a conservative woman, and her indifference to anyone who tried to catch her attention made her even more intriguing to Jade. Jade wasn't one to chase attention, but he found himself drawn to her, not out of lust but because of something deeper. So, he began to do what he knew best, bake. At first, he simply brought in treats for the office, hoping to get her to notice him. He would leave her cupcakes, coffee, or even some cookies, but she always ignored them. She didn't eat the food. It wasn't because she didn't appreciate it, it was simply her way of rejecting the attention, something she wasn't interested in. However, Jade's persistence never wavered. His family owned a bake shop, and baking had always been his way of showing care. One day, he decided to bake something special, something that would speak to her without words. He spent hours carefully making the perfect batch of cupcakes, the kind that told a story with every bite. When he left them on her desk, he had no idea if she would even acknowledge them. But this time, Faith did something unexpected. She took one of the cupcakes, admired it for a moment, and took a bite. Her eyes widened in amazement. It was different from the usual treats she received, something about it just felt personal. For the first time, she smiled at him, and Jade felt a spark. From that moment on, Faith and Jade began to share something special, a love for baking. They talked about their favorite recipes, techniques, and their shared passion for making people smile through food. Slowly, their friendship blossomed. Jade found in Faith someone who understood his quiet nature and appreciated the effort he put into everything, especially baking. Eventually, Jade could no longer keep his feelings hidden. One evening, after a long day at work, he baked a special batch of cupcakes for her. This time, they were not just a treat, they were his confession. As he handed her the box, he looked into her eyes and said, "Faith, I think I've loved you from the moment I started baking for you. You make my heart soften, just like these cupcakes." Faith, who had always kept her emotions under tight control, felt something shift. She had come to admire Jade's quiet dedication, his patience, and his kindness. She never expected to fall in love with someone like him, but here she was, holding a box of cupcakes that represented something deeper. As they became lovers, Jade and Faith decided to take their shared love of baking to